Today is Saturday, July 28th. Problem number 41 will become famous because no one, I repeat, no one had the correct answer. So it goes.
Hello, hello, hello. Today is July 26, 2018. Tomorrow, the 27th, and tomorrow night, the 28th of July, there will be the great total lunar eclipse. Cannot be seen in the United States. What is the reason why we cannot see it in the United States? It's very simple. It's daylight here when the moon is totally eclipsed. And a total eclipse can only occur when we are at full moon. And if we are at full moon, we can only see the moon at night. Not only we, but anywhere else on Earth can only see the moon at night. So during the day, during our day, when the moon is partially or totally eclipsed, we cannot see it. Okay, now the solution to the problem. What on July 27 is the diameter of the Umbra, which is the shadow caused by Earth. And whenever anyone is in the Umbra, no matter where you are in the Umbra, you will not be able to see the sun. The Earth blocks the sun. Ready? So these are the values that I asked you to adopt for this problem. I did the best I could. I looked up what approximately the distance from Earth is to Sun. It's almost the maximum possible. We call it aphelion. The distance from us to the Moon is also almost the maximum possible, which is called apogee. This is a good approximation for the radius of the Sun. The radius of the Earth will take this number. It's a little larger at the eclipse, a little smaller at the poles. Radius of the Moon, and that's what you will need to calculate the diameter of the Umbra. All the information that you need is in this picture. Here is the Sun, and this is the radius of the Sun. Here is the Earth, and this is the radius of the Earth. And this is the distance from the Sun to the Earth on July 27. The Moon is here. The Moon must be on this side of the Earth because there is a lunar eclipse. It's like full moon, right? In other words, the Moon distance to the Sun is 400,000 kilometers larger than our distance to the Sun. That's a must, otherwise there would not be a total lunar eclipse. So at the location of the Moon, there is the Umbra of the Earth. And the Umbra of the Earth here is 0. And this then is the radius of the Umbra. And of course the radius of the Moon would be much smaller. Now, how do we find the radius of the Umbra? The diameter of the Umbra will be twice that much. This angle here is 1/2 alpha. The tangent of that angle is radius sun divided by capital L, which is this distance, which we don't know yet. It is also the radius of the Earth divided by this distance, which we also don't know yet, because for this distance we have to know what L is. We know this distance, but we don't know this distance yet. And to calculate the radius of the Umbra, we have to know this distance. The tangent of 1/2 alpha is the radius of the Umbra divided by this distance, and we have to know L. So the first thing we will do is to calculate capital L, and then we are basically on our way. So the tangent of 1/2 alpha is the radius of the sun divided by capital L. But it is also the radius of the Earth divided by this distance. And this distance is L minus this distance. So that is L minus 152.1 million kilometers. So this is one equation with one unknown. We know the radius of the Earth, we know the radius of the Sun. So we can calculate L. One equation, one unknown. High school physics. I find this for L. So once we know L and we know the radius of the Sun, we know what the tangent of 1/2 alpha is. 1/2 alpha is this angle. I carried on 5-digit precision. And so the tangent of 1/2 alpha is the radius of the Umbra divided by this distance, and this distance we know now because we just calculated L. So, end of problem. The diameter of the Umbra, 4-digit precision, is about 9,155 kilometers. As of this day, which is 4 days after I posted the problem, no one has that answer. I don't know why, but no one does. Okay. I got some interesting comments from viewers who said, you mentioned that the Earth is a sphere. They said, that's not true. We all know, he says, that the Earth is flat. It's a flat pancake, circular pancake. I asked the person the following question. When the moon rises in the Netherlands, the moon will be fully eclipsed. Now, the sun is then just below the horizon, of course, because the moon, the Earth and the sun are in one straight line. What do you think will happen with the size of an Umbra if the Earth, if the sun is shining onto the Earth in the plane of the flat Earth? What do you think the Umbra will look like? Not a circle. It will look like a rod. Well, the person didn't answer me. Of course, there are millions of reasons why we know for sure that the Earth is close to a sphere. But when you read the arguments of these crazy nuts, they never discussed the fact that if the Earth is flat, that a lunar eclipse cannot occur when the moon is at your horizon. But it does, because the Earth is a sphere. Never argue with people about the earth being flat or not flat. Flat earth is a religion. That's the way to look at it. And we have freedom of religion in any civilized democratic country. So anyone is entitled to believe what they want to believe. That's perfectly fine. That's what religions are for. So don't argue with people about their religion, about the flat earth. It's a waste of time. Even though it is, of course, all nonsense, don't argue. So this is the last problem this academic year. This is problem number 41. And I will start again with a very interesting problem. Again, it has to do with induced EMF. And that is an exam. I'm going to test you. And I will post it probably near the end of August. I want to know how much you have learned during the past year of my bi-weekly physics problems. So, I'm not going to grade you, but I'm testing you nevertheless. Have a nice day, have a nice vacation. I will continue with my art quizzes. We'll be friends, of course, during all that time. Enjoy your vacation, if you have any.